Welcome, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Look Around the Confederation. It is round 7 o'clock on Thursday afternoon, so you know what time it is. It is time for your weekly episode of Look Around the Confederation. I'm your host, Three Evening Moose. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Before we get started, please remember our disclaimer that the views and opinions expressed in this broadcast are not necessarily the views and opinions of the SCV, its GEC, nor divisions, brigade, camps, or any other subsidiaries. How is everybody doing in Dixieland tonight? I am tired, if you cannot tell. I've had a bit of a long day, and then I had a couple of lovely technical problems before we could start the show. That's why we're starting a bit later than normal. But I hope everybody's doing good. Had a good day in Dixie. I got a good bit of news coming in. I'm glad to see Monuments Across Dixie in the chat because I will call upon them towards the end of the show to help me talk about an issue that was brought to my attention today. Going on in Georgia with Stone Mountain. So I'm glad y'all are in the chat. Please stay in the chat. I'm going to have some questions for you. It's okay if you cannot answer them. I just I want to make sure I get everything right. I want to give credit where credit is due, and I want to have an update on the situation. If you do not mind. We have the legend, Paul Gremlin Jr. in the chat, our Chief of Heritage Operations, Mr. Ron Kennedy. Long day, people. He's talking about pollen in the South. Pollen in the South kills me. I'm an outdoorsman, but not during the springtime in Mississippi. Yes, it is about the video y'all sent in. I tried to have the video ready to even play it and let everybody watch it, but sadly, work just tuned me up today, and I just got in to do the episode right now. If it wasn't just for my loving family, I wouldn't have this cup of coffee that I desperately need. But yes, I watched a good bit of it. Again, I mean, I came in just a couple minutes ago. If I didn't do my work on the show the night before, we would have pushed the show back 30 minutes so I could get the news ready. So I'm lucky I did that. Got Victor Smith in the chat. How you guys doing? I need to know about the tumbler. Victor, I cannot wait to figure out the thing for the tumbler. It's bothering me. We have Susie in the chat. Good to see you, Susie. We got the Lone Ranger Chuck Michael in the chat. Got some news from him today. Good to see you. We got the Sam Davis Camp Commander in the chat, newly elected. I don't know if I ever gave you credit for that election. I might have. I hope I did. Don't fall out of your chair. I am this close to falling out of my chair. I mean, I'm exhausted. No problem. We can talk about it later on whenever you want. I'm going to save it for the last bit of news if y'all don't mind. I like ending on stuff that I can ask questions on this show and get through some of the flyers and events and stuff like that and camp news. And I want to go into this. And I might ask the Georgia Division Commander to come on and talk about it, have a state of the division address with him. I would love for him to talk about this. But look, Victor, the Dukes of Hazzard original TV show might be one of my favorite TV shows ever. I grew up watching it. My father had them all out on DVD when we went to Tennessee when I was younger. When I was in about high school, he went out and he bought them all on DVD. And I know that's not too long ago, but please note I was a freshman more than 6 or 7 years ago, and that hurts my soul just a bit every year. We went out and we bought all the Dukes of Hazzard before, and I'd always known the car. Every Southerner knows the car, generally the dream car of all 15, 16-year-old boys. And I loved the show. I fell in love with it. I watched it all, but it was a great show, and that is still my dream car. And if the good Lord calls me back as soon as I get done building me a General Lee one day, he's giving me every blessing he can on this earth, and it's time for me to go back because it ain't going to get any better than that here. All right. We have the Army of Trans-Mississippi Councilman Charles LeRae in the chat. Good to see you. Moose, those are, they was used on the show. I saw that. Monument Across Dixie says, sounds good. You should have him on. He would have a lot of good insight. Thank you. I'm still going to ask y'all questions. I love Monuments Across Dixie. You're going to get me in trouble. Going to get me in trouble. I see you. Take Nabbit. Commander Nelson is going to get me in trouble on this show. I swear. I'm too tired to defend myself right now. I've been going pretty much all day. But yeah, no, I love Mind Cross Dixie. Y'all do fantastic work. I hope to talk to y'all about some stuff I would like to see in Mississippi coming up soon, but more on that later. But one second. Let's get into some news, shall we? And then we got some breaking SCV chat news to talk about towards the end of the show. SCV chat will be taking a couple of future steps that I would like to talk to everybody about. See everybody's thoughts. But first, let's get into the news. First bit of news I want to talk about, of course, is a division reunion. I cannot stress how important it is to go to division reunions, especially if you're in said division. Now, starting tomorrow, the Missouri Division SCV reunion will be held March 24th through the 26th. Let me see if I can't zoom in, sadly, but I'm going to post this, like always, on the show, on the Facebook page afterwards. Know, people, how important it is to go to your division reunions and how important it is to visit division reunions. You get a sense of ideas that you would never think of going to other division reunions or even going to national reunions. And so I cannot stress enough how important it is to attend these events. So if you're in the Missouri area, definitely go. If you are just one of the people that love the SCV and that travels all across the country for the SCV, I would recommend you go. They always are good. I've heard great things about the Missouri Division, and I have no doubt that their reunion is going to be a blast and get some business done. So I cannot wait to see pictures from that. You know who I'm talking to. Hopefully you're watching the show tonight. I haven't seen you yet, but hopefully you're watching it. I emailed. I'll look into it, Victor. I have not been able to check. I checked all the emails last night about 2 in.the morning to get everything ready for SCV chat, and then I got up today at 6, I think. I'm going on fumes right now. Well, thank you. Speaking of which, we just had one of our sponsors say something nice about us. Southern Flags and Quilts is one of our sponsors here. If you don't know, they make great quality flags. And I'll say this all again in a couple of minutes when I give y'all a sponsor break. But no, thank y'all. Thank y'all. I might be getting in contact with y'all soon about something that I'll be donating maybe to the Mississippi Division. Depends on the money. There's something I'd like to do. I'm not trying to ruin the surprise too much since I'm live on air, but I might send y'all a message a bit after the show. And thank y'all. We hope we send a lot of customers your way, and we thank y'all for all the kind words you've said about us. The Tennessee Division reunion is on March 31st through April 1st. Details are on the Tennessee Division website. Please go, again, if you're in the Tennessee region, please go up there and take an Abbott, Chuck. If you're around the Tennessee area, please go. I would love to go. Sadly, I got some Mississippi Division stuff I need to do on April 1st, and so I'm not going to be able to do anything. And again, the 5th Brigade, the brigade I'm in the Mississippi Division, the brigade that I just got voted to represent, Joyful, we were having and hosting the Mississippi Division reunion at Beauvoir, the last home of President Jefferson Davis. It is, let me pull out my calendar here so I don't lie to anybody. Coin is on point. Oh, you're talking about challenge coins and designs? Let me I actually have a separate SCV schedule book nowadays because I do so much SCV stuff. I should know it on top of my head. But the Mississippi Division reunion is June 9th through the 11th. And again, will be held at Beauvoir, the last home of the only president of the Confederate States of America, Jefferson Davis. So please go visit us if you guys can. Beauvoir is a beautiful property. Again, it is the last home of the only president of the Confederate States of America, Jefferson Davis. So please go support us if you can, not just for the Mississippi Division reunion, which we would love to have you, but as well as just Beauvoir itself. If you're in the Biloxi, Mississippi region at any time, please go support us there. We'd love to have y'all. Beauvoir has some great staff we got there working now, and we got just a great little place for you to go visit. Let all your troubles worry away. Beautiful property, beautiful place, and a place that will always be close to my heart, no matter what. And again, please go check out the Tennessee Division reunion. Again, I'm sorry, I'm jumping all over the place tonight. But please go check out the Tennessee Division reunion. And we also got the Texas reunion, I think. Let's see, who is on behalf of the William H. L. Wells Camp 1588 out of Plano, Texas. We would certainly appreciate those who attended the 22 Texas Division reunion. Could you give us the dates, please, Miss Sandra? I know if you can't remember them, trust me, I get it. If it wasn't for my SCV briefcase being next to me for SCV chat work, I would not be able to remember my own reunion that I've been attending since I was a child. So, I mean, it has been a long day for me. Ooh, but yes, please. I cannot stress the importance of division reunions and making sure you can attend them. And again, I cannot stress the importance of going around supporting other division reunions around your area. I mess with Jimmy Hill, our Army of Tennessee commander. I would love to one day go to an Alabama reunion, but they have them on the same week that we do here in Mississippi. I only mess with Jimmy Hill about that because I love Jimmy. But Alabama's reunion is June 10th and 11th. The Louisiana Division reunion is actually May 19th through the 20th in Alexandria, Louisiana. So I can, again, express the importance of going to your reunions and going to other division reunions. So please, if you see a division reunion that interests you in the chat, please screenshot it, take a picture of it, and try to attend if you can. Georgia is also, wow, what June is popular. June 10th and 11th will also be Georgia's division reunion. Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Sandra. You're talking about the 22 last year's division reunion. I'm glad y'all had a good turnout. Maryland's division reunion is May 6th. Georgia's 10th and 11th of June. Golly, June is popular. June is very popular. Florida division is having theirs June 3rd at their Florida division headquarters in Trenton, Florida. I can't tell you the last time Mississippi. I don't know if Mississippi Division's ever had one at our headquarters, which I'm not shocked by. Ours is in Jackson. All right. Well, I'm glad that everybody talked about your division reunions. Of course, I love seeing it. Last bit of, not last bit of news, but some more news. Let's see here. Looks like a Confederate Heritage Banquet, the 12th annual Robert E. Lee Camp 239 will be hosting. Let's see here. Prices are, I'm so sorry. This does not have any information for me by the side. I'm guessing that was put up by Christian Lee last week. I'll send him a message after the show and make sure I get some information. I can't read it. I hate to say it. I'm sorry. Need bulletproof vests in Jackson. You're correct. But I can't read that. I'm sorry. And I don't see the news that I'm supposed to be reading usually in the notes. They're not there. So I'm going to post it at the show and make sure I contact Christian Lee, who hosted last week's Look Around. Thank you again for doing that, Christian Lee. And I'll talk to him and make sure y'all get the justified news. I hope y'all have a great event. Again, I'm deeply sorry that I wasn't able to read that. Now, this next bit of news is a project that camp did. And what they did is they went to a school and they did a presentation. This is by Camp 914. Now, sadly, I didn't get a name from them, but they did something great that I want to show some light on. So, again, everybody knows I'm going to be a school teacher. I'm taking the long way around the barn on being one, but I hope be one sooner or later. And something like this, it gives me hope for the future generation, because my generation, it's lost. We might recruit 1, 2 out of 10 of my generation. The next generation is our key, and we need to focus on them, because without them, the organization will not exist by the time I am in my 60s or 70s. And by the time I'm in my 60s, I want to say that this Cold War for our heritage is no longer being fought. We have won it. That is my goal by the time I'm 60 to say we don't have to worry about this stuff anymore. That's a personal goal of mine and something I fight towards every day. But again, this is something I really wanted to bring attention to because it really, really makes my heart jump with joy to see this presentation done at a school. I mean, look at it. Just a couple of pictures here of different. I believe this is their camp commander talking about the uniform of a Confederate soldier to these kids, and he said that they went into great detail and they enjoyed it. Here's the room of kids, a good group of kids in there. I mean, that is awesome to see. And then here's something I like. They did a cannon demonstration and explained the cannon and everything they do. I love that. My school used to do that when I was a child. It's also what helped me get involved in reenacting. And here's again a bigger group picture of that. I like to try to have 2 group pictures. And probably my favorite picture out of this bunch is them loading a volley for these kids. And then the next picture, they fired, and look how happy. You see so many smiles on these kids' faces. They seem like they are just so happy and so amused and so taken back by this. And so that brings me so much joy to see that. Again, as a future school teacher, hopefully someday soon, seeing that gives me hope in the profession I'm jumping into. Because, I hear horror stories right now from people that are teaching. Some people have said it is the front lines of this war. It's definitely one of them, I would say. But to see something like that does warm my heart and lets me know that we are doing a just thing here, trying to get involved more in schools. But I mean, remember that last picture and see just how many of them were smiling and just in awe of this. And when you do something like that when they're young, as they get older, they dwell on stuff like that. And sooner or later, that will I'll get them in the organization. I know a lot of people that join like that. I was already joined. I was one of the first cadets in the organization, so they didn't have to make me want to join. I was already a member and loved being in the SCV, but a couple of my classmates joined because of that reason. The 2023 Texas Division Heat Reunion will be held in I'm too tired to pronounce that. Luckenbach, Texas, June 2nd through the 4th. Please tell me, Miss Sandra, if I pronounced that right or wrong. Victor said that the annual Chuck Mack Legend Convention will be held on January 23rd, 2024 in Alaska. Chuck said the Cherokee, Georgia Camp 94. Oh, no, they can have it. He said this is the Cherokee, Georgia Camp 1914 that did this. Thank you. I'm so glad. I love how everybody's just so used to my mispronouncing. Everybody's just throwing up wrong in the chat. But I wanted to put this on the screen. This is the camp that did this wonderful event. Thank you guys to the Cherokee County, Georgia Camp 914. Again, this did me great joy to see. When I was making the news last night, I shot up, man. It's just good to see. It did my heart good to see. And Jude is right. Us winning this war, it starts with retaking the education system. Hey, no problem. Cleaning guns for reenactment, Mr. Sean. That sounds awesome. Wrong. Yeah, I figured it was wrong. People, you can see it in the chat. You know how bad I am with this stuff. I'm sorry. I try my best to come in here before the show, but as I said tonight, I didn't have any time. I got in right before the show was supposed to start. Lumbach. Okay, Lumbach, Texas. Okay. Maybe that one's right. Thank you, Commander Nelson. Oh man. Again, I think GCB Conroe did this, made me the host of Look Around, um, as a comedy joke because he knows I do have trouble with pronunciation. If you've heard me talk at camps or heard me talk at division or national reunions, you'll hear me almost at the beginning of every speech I give say, "Now, bear with me. Sometimes I do have trouble with pronunciation, and so if I say something wrong, give me a second." Sometimes, sometimes it can trip me up. I don't know why I'm like that. I guess that's one of the things I get for going in the public school system when I was a child. Um, it's the hometown of Buddy Holly. Wow, I had no idea. Thank you, Jimmy Hill. Mark, well, thank y'all for tuning in. If y'all didn't tune in, I wouldn't be doing this and having this great blessing and honor. I love seeing camp news. I know some people, might not like seeing it, but I mean, I can't tell you how much I love doing this. This is one of the greatest joys of my week, getting able to do this. Hence why today, when I am just extremely tired, I didn't cancel the show. I mean, I could if I wanted to, but I love doing this too much. I love seeing what the SCV has going on. And I love seeing our organization do great things. It just brings me so much joy, and it really lightens up my week some weeks. Some weeks college and farm work and life beats you down, but you can always enjoy some SCV work, and it always brightens my week up. And so seeing everybody else's work also brightens my week. All right, we're going to move on to some of the news real quick, but first, we're going to go ahead and hit a sponsor break so I can chug the rest of this poor coffee. And we're getting close anyway. We have 2 sponsors. So please remember our first sponsor, Southern Flags and Quilts. We talked about them earlier on tonight. Southern Flags and Quilt. Oh, well, give me a second. I'll put y'all on the screen in a second. There we go. Southern Flags and Quilt is a Southern company. So you're not sending your money to some Yankee. You're not sending your money overseas. You're sending your money to someone who lives in the South, in the heart of Dixie, Alabama. Now, I have some disagreements with that. I think the heart of Dixie is in Mississippi, but you know what? I'm gonna let bygones be bygones because of how great her work is. If you don't believe me on how good her work is, here are just some pictures of Southern Flags and Quilts works. I mean, they are outstanding flags, beautiful and historically accurate flags. She doesn't half anything, people. She goes above and beyond on making great flags. I mean, this one again is one of my favorites. But again, I know how good her work is because she made the official SCV CHAT flag for us here. So please go support Southern Flags and Quilts, tonight's sponsor. She does a great job. Always love her work, and I love seeing her post some of her work sometimes on Facebook. Her link is in the chat, so please go support her. Again, she does fantastic work. Camp flags, division flags, flags for your reenacting groups, or historical flags that, that's what my family does. We collect some flags that our ancestors fought under. So she's great for all that. She does great quality work. You're not going to be disappointed. 10 out of 10 recommend from Monuments Across Dixie. And again, trust me, you won't regret it. She is worth every penny. So go please support Southern Flags and Quilts. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
There is a place nestled in the rolling farmland of southern Middle Tennessee. A home constructed in 1837, nearly lost to the ravages of war. Saved by a servant and a Confederate general. A place where families loved and lost. If walls could talk, what stories could be told? If a place, a home, can feel love, loss, pain, surely this is one of those places. Nearby is a more recent structure, and inside are the stories of heroes and heroines, stories of battles won and lost, stories of sacrifices made by the people of its native soil. A place that will tell the true and complete story of the Southland and the war fought for its freedom. From the causes that led to the conflict to the modern-day struggles to protect Southern history. Historic Elm Springs and the Confederate Museum at Elm Springs are the general headquarters for the Sons of Confederate Veterans. A place where the story of the Southland and its historic struggle is preserved and told. Come and discover your history.
I love that y'all have continued to make rhyming jokes about my lovely pronouncing of Lubbock, Texas. Jimmy Hill, Army of Tennessee Commander Jimmy Hill, did point out why I think I messed up the first one. I had been listening to Waylon Jennings all day. I think he does have a song called Luckenbach, Texas. So that's probably why that got stuck in my head, and I just thought I would throw it out there, I guess. The joys of a long day on the road. I always love that commercial, and I always love trying to support to my best ability Elm Springs and the Confederate Museum. Let's see here. I'm sorry, I was reading a couple comments, but again, let me talk about our sponsors one quick second again. Please go support Southern Flags and Quilts. Link is in the chat. Again, great quality work. They are worth every penny they ask. They don't ask too much. Waylon and Wheelie and the boys. Yep, David, that's what's been running through my head all day. I don't know why it got stuck in my head. I was listening to my Johnny Cash station, but here we are. Seriously, we need a uniformed people for Honor Guard. I agree, Captain Nelson. Captain. Golly, my night. Commander. Whew. I'm telling you, man, you'd think I'm just falling apart over here. I'm not, I'm just tired. Golly. All right. Now I'll get the joy of my evening. I'm going to on purposely now mess up pronouncing all of past Commander Chief Chuck McMichael's news just because I like messing with him. No, I'm not going to do that. But we do have some news from his camp. Next bit of news. The Lieutenant General Richard Taylor Camp, 1308 of Shreveport, Louisiana, hosted a unit in the 2023 Louisiana Red Bud Festival. Also in attendance was the Sergeant James W. Nielsen Camp, 1478, and the Sabin Rifles Camp, 2057, and the lovely Lieutenant Camp 1971. I'm not going to butcher y'all's name that bad. My mouth is not working with me on that one, so I'm sorry. I really am. But again, it's good to see a camp getting out of the community. Good to see a good little reenacting unit there. I bet y'all had a blast. I wish I could go. Could have been to that. It sounds like it had been a blast. Some great people involved in that. Of course, the Lieutenant General Richard Taylor camp are pretty active, and I was good to also see some other camps involved in there. So thank y'all for that. Y'all also, I believe, set up a recruiting table. Let me put that up. The Lieutenant General Richard Taylor Camp, 1308 of Shreveport, Louisiana, also set up a recruiting booth at the 2023 Louisiana Red Bud Festival. Compatriots J. Hall, Alan Lawrence, and Lute Lee. Thank y'all for doing that. glad to see a recruiting table come up. Love seeing them as always. Thank y'all for doing that. Thank y'all for spending your time out of your day doing that for our organization. So thank you. All right, we're about to end up on some last bit of news, and then we're going to go into the SCV breaking announcement. If I can even pronounce SCV chats on breaking news at this rate, I'm going downhill quickly, aren't I, folks? But next, let's see here. We got a couple of comments. Let me check. All right. Well, we got this from the Army of Tennessee Commander Jimmy Hill, the first annual Yellow Hammer Jammer. It is sponsored by the Alabama Divisions of the Sons of Confederate Veterans. It will be on September 30th of 2023, held at 3 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. at the Confederate Memorial Park in it's a little Markbury, Alabama. Music will be performed by Mutt Cooper, Allie Knight, Brandon Young, and Unreconstructed. Past Commander-in-Chief Chuck McMichael will be their keynote speaker. Food and drinks are available. Games for kids and adults, door prizes, historical presentation, and many, many other activities. Please bring your ice cream freezers, pop-up tents, and lawn chairs. Hot dog eating contest for the adults and kids. No administration fee. Enter the park and enjoy a fun day with your family. Wow. Alabama Division. Wow. That sounds like an awesome event. Whew. Wow. That's seriously a great event. Man. Alabama. Y'all got to stop trying to make Mississippi look bad, man. But that sounds like another great event there in Alabama. Remember, we will post all these events after the show again. So if you couldn't read it on the screen, or of course my pronunciation is wrong, you'll be able to get a clearer view of what we're talking about here. But again, it is on September 30th, 2023 at 9 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. or to 3:30 p.m. I am just falling apart. Wow. But I will definitely try to be there. That sounds like an awesome event, or at least try to get some pictures. That sounds just awesome. I'm definitely jealous. Sounds like it's going to be a great one. And make sure you go out there with your family, kids, and you guys have a good time. All right, we got some last bit of news before we go into the SCV chat breaking news. So this is what I wanted to make sure Monument Across Dixie was on for. I think we have a division challenge now. I say it's a division challenge in 2 more years when I'm no longer a division officer. Let me ride off into the sunset before we do that. But I'm joking. But I would love to see a lovely division rivalry happen there. We try to outdo each other. I wouldn't mind it. Moose, was that Irish coffee? No. I have to drive again to my farm after this. So no, I don't drink and drive. No, it's just not working. Apparently the coffee, I did not make it strong enough when I ran in here, or when my grandmother made it for me, I guess. It has not been strong enough for me. I'm still barely awake over here. Whew. I guess I needed a stronger cup, or maybe 2 before the show. And of course, we have a lovely 40 viewers watching, and only 900 more are going to watch this after it goes up. It's not an actual division challenge. What I was talking about is the fact that Alabama's putting on just this banger of an event, September 30th, by the way. And I said, wow, I'd love to see Mississippi do that, because it seems like Alabama's trying to outdo us. And Commander Nelson, who is the camp commander for the Sam Davis camp in Biloxi, he was talking about how we think we need a division challenge now to challenge Alabama on something. So it's nothing official. We're just, I guess, we're planning live on air. Would be what I'm trying to say. Mississippi does have fall muster. Fall muster is a phenomenal event. It is held at Beauvoir in Biloxi. Fall muster is probably is the biggest event for Beauvoir of the year. It is a phenomenal event, and if you can, I would heavily recommend. Of course, I'm a little biased, but I would say it's probably a great event to go to. You got a reenactment, settlers, games for the kids, vendors with food, and all around great people. And of course, you have the Beauvoir, the President Jefferson Davis Presidential Library, his museum, and the Beauvoir House itself. So it's a great event, and of course, you'll get to see SCV CHAT at some point running around. That would be me. Let's see here. I can't speak for the Florida division, but I'm in. The event was based on fall. This event was based on the fall muster held in Alabama. That's cool. I love hearing stuff like that. But I hope y'all do have a great event, Jimmy Hill. I would love to be there. I don't know what I'm doing that far in advance, but I definitely would love to try to be there and maybe try to outdo y'all this year with our fall muster event. Held October. I'll get the dates in a bit, but going to our last bit of news, I wanted to talk about some members of the Georgia SCV defending the carving at Stone Mounting during the March 2023 Stone Mountain Memorial Association board meeting. I got some pictures here. Now, I'm sad to say I do not recognize any of these gentlemen, but one. They were talking, and of course, this is the Georgia division commander. I know him. But I was going to ask, I'm glad that Ole Miss versus Louisiana is the same day. I'll have to rain check with you on that, Jimmy. I don't know if I'm going to be able to attend that or not. I can't remember. Is it in LSU or Oxford this year? If it's in LSU, I'm not going. I don't feel like getting mugged. That's a lovely jab at Chuck. But okay, going back to the news. I know Monuments Cross Dixie's in here, so I didn't get to read everything. Again, I came in here last minute. I just so happened to see that y'all tagged us in this on Facebook, read the title, knew I had to put this on the show. So I don't know what's going on at Stone Mountain, what's happening with the carving. Oh, okay. Chuck said it's probably in Oxford and it's probably going to be a night game. So I could do both if I was feeling brave that day. I don't, how far, that's something we can talk about after the show, guys. Y'all getting me off track over here. We're talking about Ole Miss and LSU to an Oxford kid. But going back to this with Monuments Cross Dixie in the chat, could you give us an update or some background on this event? What's happening with this? I have not heard anything going on with the carving at Stone Mountain. So I hate to say it, I'm a little bit ill-informed on this event. Could you tell me why we had to defend it? Last time I heard, Stone Mountain was safe. So I'd really love y'all's insight into this. And of course, I might get the Georgia division commander to come on at some point and talk about this himself personally. Of course, with him being there, being in Georgia, he probably knows about this a lot more than I do. But I just want to make sure everybody was informed of this news. Was it talking about the National Memorial Service? Were they trying to challenge that? Okay, I do like that. So basically, they have a monthly meeting, and they allow the public to come and speak. However, there's only a few slots for the public to talk, and the SCV took all of them. Well, that's awesome, first off. I know one gentleman was talking about trying to get the monument cleaned and serviced. Army of Tennessee Commander, thank you, Jimmy, for chiming in here. says that they are still trying to take this down. I'm glad you informed me of that. I will be looking at that more closely now. And for those who do not know, let's see here. I got my SCV schedule here. I believe it is April 29th that we will have a national memorial service there at Stone Mountain. And so I'm ask everybody if you can attend it. I personally won't be able to. That is the day my camp will be celebrating our 30th anniversary. So I won't be able to be there, but that upsets me very much. Thank you all for bringing this to our attention so we can keep everybody informed. Again, Look Around is on Camp and Division News, and I can't think of any big division news like this, them trying to do this for us. Yes, by law, they do have to keep it up. Okay, so they're also trying to make sure they did their due diligence and protect the monument. That's good. For those who don't know what Stone Mountain is, it is the biggest Confederate memorial in the world. It is extremely beautiful. I got the honor of seeing it at the Georgia National Reunion, and it's enough to bring emotion to you. That woke me up. Nothing like some bad news, eh? Ain't that right? But thank y'all for what y'all did in defending it, and keep defending it. Please keep us informed here. There's a push from the county to remove it. However, the state law prevents it. Okay. Isn't that just sad? They can't even leave it. Without that monument, what is the attraction to the park they've built around it? Nothing. I don't give that park much longer if they take down that mountain. I'm glad to hear that we support taking it down or support preserving it. Yeah, they do a laser light show. I don't understand the point of wanting to take it down. I feel like it'd be just absolutely awful for the state of Georgia's tourist industry. Again, I don't understand the purpose it would serve to take it down. I never see the purpose anyway, but at the same time, you know. Okay, thank you, Mad. I'm just going to start using y'all's abbreviation. Mine's Cross Dixie said they just did add 2 more members that support keeping the carving, which is it's very great news. It makes me it takes my breath away because you know I worry about this stuff constantly. You know, I tell people all the time we're in this Cold War for our heritage, and every day I worry that there's just something horrific waiting for us. There is purpose to make us lose and then win. That's all it is. It's not even they're not even looking at it from what will this do to Georgia or this little park we've built around Stone Mountain. They only want us to lose. Us specifically, the descendants, the people that support Confederate heritage, the people that this is our heritage. I don't know what we did to them. I really wish one day I could figure out what we have done with them. Mimes Cross Dixie says, yeah, it looks good for them, so no one needs to worry about Stone Mountain right now. But again, you never know in something like this. We got to keep up the fight, even if we are under attack at the moment. And that's something we need to always do right now. My personal opinion is right now we've been on the defense, and I'm not talking about Georgia because I don't know Georgia specifically, but I'm talking about from what I've seen as an SCV member. And this is something I love about Ron. Me and Ron are on the same page about this war. I'm one of those people that I'm batting that, we get more political power to stop them. I'm a strong believer, and that is going to be our major weapon we use to win this war. I ask that again, everybody on April 29th, please go support the Confederate National Heritage Memorial that we're going to have there. Again, it's just very disappointing. It's saddening. But again, yeah, right now we have a bad issue of seeing that people, when we win these battles, when we do win, and we do win a lot more than you think. People only hear about the bad stuff about these certain monuments coming down. That's always awful. But, they don't hear about us winning. But when we win, sometimes I've noticed we take a step back like, whoo, bullet dodged. We're good now. And I'm like, no, they're going to keep coming after us. They're going to keep coming after us until they win. And so we need to do what our Chief of Heritage Operation has said. We need to gain enough political power to stop them. We need to get in the education system. We need to start teaching the Southern kids, the women, the boys, the girls, everybody. We need to teach them real history so they know not to be ashamed of their Southern history. So they know that it's something to take pride in and something to protect and love your whole life, because it is a wonderful thing, our heritage. It's something that always brings me great joy. It has helped me found this love in my life of the SCV. I love this organization. If I could work for the SCV in the Mississippi area, I probably would be working there now. I just wish there was a place a bit closer to my farm, selfishly. I love this, and I love fighting for our heritage, but we shouldn't have to be fighting. We should be able to have programs and not have to worry about our monuments or what's being taught to the Southern kids. We shouldn't have to worry about that, and that's something we have to always fight again. Our Chief of Heritage Operations, Mr. Ron Kennedy, and it kind of answered my question, because I said I don't understand why they continuously attack us. I don't understand why they really hate our heritage like they do. But he said, as Dr. Forrest McDonald said, they hate us because they ain't us. They don't know how to kick back and have fun instead of making money. Ain't that the truth? I couldn't agree more. Turn off the television and teach your kids. I'm blessed to have been taught the truth. But I want to thank Monuments Cross Dixie and everybody for bringing this to my attention. I will keep an eye on Stone Mountain from now on. We got to keep fighting, people. And, I talk about this all the time. I talk about how we need to fight back. And our Chief of Heritage of Operations, me and Mr. Ron, agree on a lot of ways how to fight this back. We need to gain some political influence, and of course, not do. I believe I'm going to say this right. I am tired, so I don't want to butcher it. The SCV can't get involved. We're nonprofit, but you, the individual, can, and you can support your Confederate heritage interests through yourself and not the organization. So it's very important. I stress that to make sure you get involved. You, the moose in you. But no, me as Harrison, I get involved in Mississippi politics, for example. It would be to represent what I would believe would be my heritage's best interest. Because, there's two things I put very highly in my life. The first is always going to be the good Lord Almighty. The second is my family, and the third is going to be my heritage, which goes really, in my mind, neck and neck with my family, because it is my family. It's my family ancestry. It's my family heritage that's been passed down to me. So I take great offense when someone attacks it, and I'm going to make sure that I never, ever lose it in my lifetime. I hope so. Grant's bringing that back. Harrison is the most well-known Mississippian. Oh, that was in the gag reel a couple of years ago. I needed that laugh. I was getting a bit serious. Moose for governor, please no. The SCV can promote the goals of our tax-exempt status. We can't encourage as an organization in direct political action. Okay, so we can promote what we do as the Sons of Confederate Veterans. We just cannot get in directly involved in political action. Okay, thank you. Thank you. That says some of our compatriots in North Carolina have a saying, do something. Instead of asking, what are we doing? It takes all of us for our efforts. And I couldn't agree more. Mississippi, I've come up with SCV first. And I mean that in the sense of, if you have the opportunity to protect your heritage, don't let personal issues, do not let anything get in your way to protect your heritage. 100%. What can I do to preserve this heritage for the next generation? And I would love to see that. I would love to see more of that. And Ron, I could not agree more. Our Chief of Heritage Operations said it's not happening right now because we're not making it happen. It's all eyes on us, people. National can do only so much. The divisions can only do so much. At the end of the day, it's going to be the camps, the individual members, that win this war. And I 100% agree with that. But I'm getting serious, and I'm too tired for a serious talk. I'm going to say something stupid in a bit. So we're going to take another quick commercial break, and we're going to talk about one of our sponsors, and we're going to get into some SCV Chat breaking news. And I might have our Chief of Heritage Operations, Mr. Ron Candy, on again soon to talk about this war and politics. I always love talking to you about that, Mr. Ron. Usually I just sit back and listen to you, but I believe we'd have a good little conversation here with you as a guest on SCV Chat or Look Around one evening. We'll talk about it later. But let's see here. I personally suggest that each and every SCV camp should do a planned family cookout or something, and some gathering that involves kids twice a year. We have a lot more youth. We would have a lot more youth involvement. Now I'll be quiet. I couldn't agree more. Youth involvement is something we struggle with in the SCV. Let's go ahead and say it. Let's put it on the table. I cannot tell you how many events I've been to in the SCV where I'm the youngest man there. I'm 24. I should nowhere near be the youngest person at these events, but I am. So we do need to work on our youth involvement. And I have a couple ideas I'm going to start trying out in the Mississippi Division. Hopefully. Some things I would like to see. I'm going to suggest things. But I do agree. We're going to try to start doing more cookout type things at my camp too. But now it is time for one more Pop-Tart break before the SCV Chat breaking news. And what ad should I be talking about? You might be asking yourself. Well, I got one that I cannot wait to hear the book review on, that I just got the book actually. And so I'm going to start reading it very soon. As soon as I get my next semester break, I'll be reading this. And that book is Jefferson Davis and the High Road to Emancipation and Constitutional Government, the newest book by the Kennedy twins. Jefferson Davis, High Road to Emancipation and Constitutional Government is about how Jefferson Davis was a leader in the high road to emancipation. He looked for a day in which slaves would be prepared to live and participate in society. He did more than advocate for this road to emancipation, though. He practiced his beliefs in the ultimate emancipation of Southern slaves. Many of his former slaves left for prosperities, and their testimony about their former master prepared them to be a self-sustaining member of society. I cannot wait to read this. Jefferson Davis, High Road to Emancipation and Constitutional Government is available at www.kennedy-twins.com or most online bookstores. And of course, if you find the Kennedy Twins at an event, you will get the luxury of getting them to sign it and hearing them speak about it a bit. I'm putting them in a corner now, so now they have to talk about it at these said events. You're welcome, guys. But I am glad to see this book here, or can't thank the Kennedy Twins enough for sponsoring our Pop-Tart breaks, especially with such a great book. I'm a big Jefferson Davis fan, and this is something I've been studying for a while, and I could not find anything. So I'm so thankful for the Kennedy Twins for publishing this book. I cannot wait to read it. I can't wait to have them on the show to talk about it, hopefully soon, one day. We will see in the future. But thank you, and we'll be right back after this Pop-Tart break.
My dad told me he always had a kinship to the battle flag. Always growing up, he knew there was something there, but he couldn't put it together. I called my 97-year-old grandmother, and I asked her, do we have any soldiers in the family? I gave her 3 descriptions. Verde, which means green, for modern-day soldier. Blue, azul, or gris, means gray. And she said, mijo, which means my son in Spanish, is gris. It was gray. My great-great-grandfather was named Andres Torres Rodriguez. He was born in Mexico. He was a laborer. And he was in 8th Texas Infantry, and his unit later on got incorporated to the Texas 33rd Cavalry under Santos Benavides, who was the highest Mexican-American Confederate officer. He was a colonel. There was over 13,000 Hispanic soldiers throughout the Confederate States, but out of those 13,000 were 2,500 Tejanos. And it's 2 words combined. Texas in Spanish is Tejas. Mexican in Spanish, Mexicano. You combine both words, Tejano. They contributed a lot for Southern independence. I think that they deserve respect, honor, and dignity under the Confederate flag that they fought for. There was people of color, Mexican people, and other Hispanics, and other people of color that fought in this war. Everyone's reason was different, but primarily they fought in this war for their independence and to protect their homeland. I joined the SCV because I'm extremely proud of my Confederate heritage. I have Confederate DNA. I just want to ensure that the present generation and future generations know and never forget the contributions of Hispanics in the War of Northern Aggression. I am Richard Luna Garcia, the great-great-grandson of Private Andres Torres Rodriguez, a Tejano Confederate soldier.
I always love that one too. But we want to thank the Kennedy Twins for sponsoring our Pop-Tart break with their newest book, Jefferson Davis, High Road to Emancipation and Constitutional Government. And you can find this book at www.kennedy-twins.com and most online bookstores. I want to thank y'all again. I've been building up to this all day, and I've been excited to talk about this all week. So I want to thank everybody for staying a bit longer than normal. The show started later. I have been a mess all show because of my my sleep schedule. But I want to thank everybody for putting up with me for so long and getting to this point. But here it is. So the SCV news is that SCV CHAT, we don't know when. I'm working on it right now. We are working on our, let's see here, our website. The SCV CHAT website will be launching soon. On this website, we hope to accomplish many things, as well as give you another way to connect with us. We hope to give you a reasonable connection to our library of all our episodes, to watch us live on our website, and hopefully many more things to do. Now, I will admit, throughout this next year, with us doing the website, it will be updated regularly, mainly because I'm learning along with it. This is my first time building a website, and I know a bit what I'm doing, um, but it's going to take time to get it to where I want it. And I'm a perfectionist on some things, and when it's something like this, something for the SCV, and I do think this is a tool for the SCV, and I want it to be a tool for the SCV. And for anybody that's a dedicated defender of the Southern Confederate heritage. It's going to take time for me to get it perfect. So I don't have a timeline when it is going to come up. I don't have a timeline when it's going to get to where I want it to perfectly be. But I wanted to go ahead and announce it because it's been a long time coming. We've been talking about doing this forever. About a year ago, we talked about to you plainly that we were going to make a website, but we just never have. Me and GCB get busy, and again, it's a two-man operation to run this. And let me tell you, this is not a two-man operation. It has slowly turned into something bigger that we could not possibly dream of. SCV Chat, and we love it. We love the opportunity, especially me. I love, like Mondays, I love hearing about national news or whatever speaker we have on, and then Thursday I get the joy of hearing Tampa Division news. It brightens my day. It always does. I love the SCV. It's always going to be in my heart, and seeing people defend Confederate heritage or get out in the community and give the SCV back and take back the narrative. It is obviously, this has become the greatest joy in my life for the past 3 years to be able to do this, and for y'all to give me the opportunity. We reach around 200,000 people a year, and every year we reach more people. Sooner or later, we're going to be reaching 500,000, a million, and the limits are endless from there. I love this. This is the project that has come deep into my heart. Jack, I would recommend you watch Commander's Comments the very first Thursday of the month for an update on Arlington. That's when we'll have our national officers on to talk about that. We'll have our Commander-in-Chief, Jason Boshears, and our Chief of Heritage Operations, Ron Kennedy. I don't have an update on Arlington right now. But that's my goal. And so I want to go ahead and tell everybody, because it will be kind of like how we did with the museum. There'll be a soft launch, and then there will be the big opening that I'm going to be proud of. And I'm going to mess with Christian Lee, because Christian Lee gave me some solid advice. And I just did not have the time this week to do it, brother. I wish I did. And two, I kind of got antsy, I will admit, and I wanted to throw this information out there as soon as I started doing this and working on this. But yes, SCV Chat's website will be coming up soon. We're going to, you'll probably be able to easily find it, but we're keeping the domain name right now to us just because there's nothing there. This picture that I showed you, that is all that's there. It is the SCV Chat logo with SCV Chat launching soon. Oh, Christian. Oh, don't tempt me. I will happily put more work on you and Cody. I will happily do it. Don't tempt me, brother. But this is something I've been wanting to do for a while now, something I've been wanting to see SCV Chat do for a while now. And it's not just going to stop with another way for you guys to support us or another way we can make content, because with this, there are different things we can do now. And stuff we can do on Facebook now, and stuff we can do on other streaming services now because of this website that we're trying to build. It's going to open up a lot more doors for SCV Chat's name to get out there. But again, we also want it to be a source, a place you can go to when you're defending your Confederate heritage. Well, I don't know about this, so let me go on blah, blah, blah.com and click it in, and there it is. That's what we want the SCV Chat website to be. And so it's something that we've been thinking about for a long time, something I've been personally thinking about doing for a long time. And finally, when me and Conroe have a somewhat every other month meeting about what we want to do with SCV Chat these upcoming months, I just threw it out there and told him I would take charge of it. And We both agreed that it was the next step, and I cannot wait for y'all to see our vision on this. Me and Connor have been working hand in hand on this for a while and what we'd like to see. Because I want to make this clear. You know, a lot of people see me on here a lot, and I'm probably on here the most out of all the SCV Chat crew. This is not just a me operation. Me and Connor run this together. This is ours together. And then we have a couple other people. We have Carl that comes on and hosts now, Christian Lee and Cody, another producer and another host. Golly, that helps us. We got some other things we're working on. Some people that are helping us out right now I can't exactly talk about because I don't want to spoil their projects. We've got a lot of great things coming out for y'all this year. And or a lot of great things will at least start this year. So I want to thank everybody for the support and making this possible. Again, this has been a dream come true to put SCV Chat, or not SCV Chat, but the SCV in my life every week. Put the UDC in my life every week. Put the OCR in my life every week. You know, it is a blessing. And probably this is the closest thing I can get to my dream job. To get to talk about the SCV week every week. Be able to talk about the SCV every week is the closest thing I can have to a perfect job. So I want to thank y'all for giving me that opportunity. Thank everybody for tuning in. And make sure you tune in Monday for our Hearth and Home episode when we will have the executive director of the SCV, Adam Southern, on to talk about your headquarters, the National Confederate Museum. He'll talk about Elm Springs, and we'll probably have some questions about the Southern Heritage Center, which is the name for the whole property now. The whole property never had a name, so we decided that we want to name it that. And I couldn't agree more with the decision. So I can't wait to see y'all this upcoming Monday when we get to talk about the museum, Elm Springs, and the Southern Heritage Center. Thank you all for watching. I ask that you please share this episode to all your pro-South and Confederate groups. Let's get this message out here. Let's get this news out here, even though I have been just dreadful this whole episode. Thank you all for watching. And remember, my friends, to stay Southern. Good night, everybody. Have a great day.